I know I am very consistent with my scheduling, but let's forget about that and focus on the tutorial that I'm making now, because I don't want to make it as long as the previous one. I'm going to be showing you how to add facial expressions to your VRChat avatar. This tutorial was made specifically with VRoid in mind, but you can apply that to any avatar that has blend shapes for face animations. I'm going to be showing you 3 different ways on how you can add facial animations to an avatar. One of them will be hand gestures, which is you making certain hand gestures in-game to get a certain face to show up. The other one will be toggles in the circle menu, and you can pick which one you want. And the last one will be a Radial Puppet, which is that wheel thingy that you can set from 0 to 100%, and it's like smooth transition between different faces. So you can pick whichever one you like. If your avatar uses Gogoloco Beyond and you want hand gestures, I'd recommend getting a package that is going to be very helpful later on, which you get by going to VRChat Creator Companion. And once you are in VRChat Creator Companion and you see your project, you go to Manage Project, and you're gonna get Avatars 3.0 Manager, which is this one, and you're gonna click plus. My avatar project also includes a gesture manager, which will help me playtest the toggles if they work properly. Okay, once you have it, you can go back to Unity. So what you do if you want hand gestures, you go to the search bar over here and search for hands. And click in packages and grab this one. This animator controller called VRC_avatar v3 hands layer.controller. So get this one and click Ctrl+C to copy it, or you can also right click if you'd like, and go back to your assets by deleting the hands from here. Go back to your assets and paste it wherever you'd like over here. You can also rename that, but you don't need to. I'm gonna rename it to hand faces. Alright, and if you're not using Gogoloco Beyond, then just go ahead and double click this and you will edit it right here. But if you are using Gogoloco Beyond, you are gonna need to combine the current FX layer with this FX layer, which you're gonna do by going to VR Labs and Avatars 3.0 Manager. And right here, you're gonna drag your avatar here, expand FX, scroll down, add animator to merge, and move this one right here, and merge on current. Alright, then you can close it. And this one you can delete if you are using the Gogoloco Beyond, because you merged it already, so it's not necessary. So you can go ahead and delete that, and double click the Gogoloco one to open it. Alright, so here you have your hands. Currently the hand animations are mapped into that, but if you want faces instead, you're gonna one by one need to click on it and set it to none by either clicking on it and scrolling up, selecting none, or clicking on it and pressing backspace on your keyboard. And you're gonna need to do it for every hand gesture here. Alright, once you've deleted everything, you're gonna pick which hand you want to have the faces. You can do both of them, you can do one. I prefer just doing one, which is left hand, and you're gonna click on this cogwheel right here, and in the mask, you're gonna set it to none. Alright, and now we have this set up, so what we need to do is record the animations. You record the animations in the animation tab. If you don't have it, you can open it in the window, animation, and animation right here. And this is gonna pop you up with this one. You're gonna click on your avatar, and you're gonna click here and create new clip. And right here, you can select the folder within your assets which you want the animations to be saved. I'm gonna do assets and I'm gonna make a new folder and I'm gonna call it animations. Okay, and I'm gonna call this one angry. Alright, and once you did that, you can click this red button over here to start recording. Expand your avatar here, click on your body, And here click the triangle next to blend shapes to expand them. And you can basically use any blend shape that you have here. You can mix them, match them if you'd like. VRoid makes it easy because it separates like eyebrows from the eyes, from the mouth, so you can mix them and match them however you'd like. But you cannot use the blend shape responsible for visomies, so these ones that you use for talking. And these ones that are also sort of connected to talking, so you can't use them. And the ones that control the blinking, so the eye close, and these you don't use. Other than that, everything is fair game, and you activate the blend shape by taking the slider and putting it all the way over here. Or you can also just manually type the number 100 here. It doesn't need to be 100, just as much as you want the blend shape to be at the maximum, you know. And once you've selected the blend shape or all of the blend shapes that you would like on this particular animation, you're gonna click the red button again, and you're gonna click on here and create new clip, and you're gonna do this for every single animation and every single face that you have. Alright, and once you've done everything, you can go and open your animator again. If this doesn't show up, just go click your avatar and open the FX Beyond or open the FX controller that you copied. And now you need to pick which faces go with which animation. So I'm gonna go locate my animations, and I'm gonna pick which faces go where. And what I'm gonna do is click on the hand animation, and I'm gonna take the animation and drag it here in the motion thing on the top. And I'm gonna do this for all of my animations. Some of those in my case are gonna be empty because I don't have enough animations to fit every single hand gesture. One more thing that you're gonna need to do is select all of these right here and uncheck motion parameter and check write defaults. And you're gonna do it for both of those. Both of the hands. Even if you're only using one, do it for both of them. Alright, and now your avatar should work properly because as you can see, the animations are mapped here, and it should all be alright. We can double check by going to Tools and Gesture Manager Emulator, clicking on it here, and enter play mode. And we can zoom in on the face and check. This does the angry one. We're shocked here, and everything is working properly. As you can see, all of the animations are here, and everything's working properly. So this is hand gestures, and you can go ahead and upload your avatar. Alright, now as for toggles, you're gonna need an FX layer. If you're already using one from Google Beyond, then that's okay, you can just use this one. If you don't have one, you can right click, create animation controller, and this can be your FX layer. And you're gonna need to drag it into the controller here and down here into the FX. I'm not gonna do it because I'm using Google Beyond. And now you need to record your animations. You do that by clicking this arrow here, clicking on your body, going to animation. If you don't have it, you can open it in the window, animation, and animation right here. Clicking here and create new clip, and you name it whatever you want. I've already have recorded animations, so I'm just gonna do a little test one. And you're gonna click the red circle here. And here you have blend shapes. If they're not expanded, you can expand them. And you can use any of these that you want, besides the ones used for talking and blinking. So neither of these first ones. And you also can't use the eye close and the mouth vowels over here. Other than that, you can basically use anything that you want. And how you activate a blend shape is by taking the slider here and moving it however far you want, how much you want your animations to show. I usually just do 100, but you can no problem just stop wherever you'd like, as long as it looks how you want it to look. And once you're done recording this particular animation, you're gonna press the red button again, click here and create new clip, and you're gonna create as many animations as you want to have. All right, once you've done that, if you're using Google Loco, you probably already have a menu and parameters. If you don't, you can right-click, create VRChat, avatars, expressions parameters, and expressions menu. So if you don't have that, you can create it and then drag the menu here and the parameters here. All right, now double-click to open your parameters list, and you're gonna add a new one, and this is gonna be an integer, and you're gonna name it faces. And copy this name because it needs to be the same in your FX layer. So if you click on your FX layer to open it, you have all of your parameters right here. You're gonna click this button to add one, and you're gonna add an integer and scroll down to get to it. And you're gonna rename it to be the same thing, which is faces. All right. And now add a new layer over here with the plus icon. I name it the same thing so it doesn't get confusing. I don't think that this one needs to be the same, but I know that the parameters here and the parameters in your parameter list need to be exactly the same, including capital letters and whatever spaces that you may have in the name. You're gonna click the cogwheel here and you're gonna set the weight to be 1. And you're gonna click it to open it. And right here you have a little basic setup that you're gonna be adding your animations into. All right, what you're gonna do now is right click here, create state, empty. And this is gonna be your idle state. So you can go ahead and name it idle. And you're gonna create a transition by right-clicking any state, make transition, and clicking idle to make transition from any state to idle. And you're gonna click on this one and click the plus here and set faces equals 0. And now you need to locate your animations. I have all of them in the folder here. And you're gonna drag all of them in. I select everything with the shift, but you can drag one by one, it doesn't matter. And I'm gonna move all of them to be nice looking. And you're gonna make transition from any state to each one of these by right-clicking any state and clicking on the animation. All right, now you're gonna click each and one of these arrows and you're gonna add a condition, faces equal, and you're gonna go ahead and give them numbers from 1 to however many you have. All right, and you're gonna also expand the settings here, and you can click has exit time and set it to 0 and disable it again. It makes your animation be a little bit faster. And set the duration, you can set it to 0.1, that also makes it a little bit faster. But that's cosmetics. If you want to do that, you can. What matters is the conditions, which you click plus, faces, equals, and numbers from 1 to however many faces you have. All right, once you've done this, you can go ahead and click on your avatar and open your main menu or your menu in general and add either a submenu if you want to have everything nicely in a submenu or add a toggle. I'm gonna just add toggles right here and I'm gonna name it angry. And for the parameter, I'm gonna do faces end and I'm gonna set the value to 1, which corresponds to this number right here that I have for the angry face. And I'm gonna add as many toggles as I have face animations. And I'm gonna set all of them to be faces end and give them the corresponding numbers in the value. All right, and once you've done this to everything, you can go ahead and preview your animation in Gesture Manager. Enter play mode. If you don't have Gesture Manager, but you grab the package, you can add it in Tools and Gesture Manager. And I'm gonna click on Gesture Manager, I'm gonna go to Expressions, and I'm gonna preview the animations. As you can see, everything is working properly, as it should, so that's good. And I'm gonna go exit this, and now you can upload your avatar because you added face animations, and it's done. All right. Radial wheel or radial puppet, whatever you want to call it. You're gonna need three things, which is a menu, parameters, and an FX layer. I already have those because I'm using Google Loco Beyond, but if you don't, you can right-click in the assets, create VRChat avatars and expression parameters and expressions menu, and create animator controller as well, which is going to be your FX layer. I'm not going to create those because, as I said, I already have them. And once you've done that and drag them into the correct spots, which is right here at the top and right here at the bottom, you can go to the animation tab. If you don't have the animation tab, you are gonna go to Window, Animation, and Animation, or press Ctrl+6, and this is gonna pop up, and you can move it right here. And you're gonna need to record only one animation. Unlike with the previous methods, when we recorded a different animation for every single blend shape, with this method, you're only gonna record one animation. So click on your body, expand the blend shapes if you haven't already, and click here and create new clip. I'm gonna call mine faces and press this red button to start recording. I'm gonna scroll here so the lines are more visible and more spread out because we're gonna need that kinda, and activate every single blend shape you're gonna use. You can use any blend shape besides the ones used for speaking, so the ones at the top, the ones used for the blinking, so the eye close one here, you can't use this, and you also can't use those for the vowels. Other than that, you can use anything, and you need to activate every single one. And the first frame needs to have every single blend shape that you're gonna use be at 0. I'm only using those 5, so I'm gonna slide the slider to be at wherever and slide it back to 0. So that adds this blend shape to my keyframe here, and you're gonna do that for every single blend shape that you're gonna use. All right, and once you have all of the blend shapes that you want to use selected and add it to this keyframe over here, you're gonna click here to move on to the next one, or you can also type number 1 here, and you're gonna click this button to add another keyframe, and you're gonna do this for as many times as many faces you want to have, +1, because the last one also needs to be empty like the first one is. All right, and once you've done that, you're gonna go to the second one over here, and you're gonna select which blend shape you want to use. I'm just gonna select the angry one, and I'm gonna type the number to be 100. You can, you don't need to type 100. You just type as much as you want the blend shape to activate, the maximum that you want the blend shape to be, basically. And now I'm gonna move on to the next one, and I'm gonna select which blend shape I want to use. I'm gonna type 100. I'm gonna click wherever else to deselect it, and then I'm gonna move on to the next one, and I'm gonna do this for every single blend shape that I have. All right, and now, as you can see, everything is done. All of those have the correct blend shapes assigned, and the last one and the first one are all at 0. All right, so now I can stop recording. And I'm gonna stop the preview, and I'm gonna go back to the project, and I'm gonna click on my avatar, scroll down, open the parameters, click plus here, and set this to be a float. This needs to be a float, and I'm gonna call it faces. All right, and now I'm gonna open the effects layer of my avatar. I'm gonna go to parameters, and I'm gonna add a float parameter, and I'm gonna call it the exact same thing. Go to layers, add a layer. I'm also gonna call it faces. All right, and you have this here. You're gonna click the cogwheel and set the weight to 1. And now you're gonna right click, create state from new blend tree. You're gonna click it, and you're gonna tick motion time, and you're gonna pick the faces parameter that you've just created, and you're gonna double click to open it. You're gonna click on it, and the parameter here needs to also be faces. And you also click this plus and add motion field, and you're gonna drag the animation that you just made into this box right here. And if you did everything correctly, a new box should appear that says faces. And now you're gonna go to your avatar, and you're gonna open your menu, and you're gonna add a new control, and you're gonna select Radial Puppet, and I'm gonna call it faces. And for the rotation, the parameter leave empty, but the rotation set to faces float. And that should work. And I'm gonna go to Tools and Gesture Manager, and I'm gonna enter play mode to check if it's working. All right, expressions, faces, and as you can see, everything is working. And this is what I said about like smoother transitions between blend shapes, because as you can see, my avatar, it's more smooth than the one with toggles or with hand gestures. So if this is more up your alley, this is how you do it. And I'm gonna exit play mode, and you can upload your avatar now.